up, everybody? And good morning. I am in Fresno today, my hometown, this weekend. Parked in front of the ever beautiful City Lights nightclub, Topless bar. They're not open right now, of course, unfortunately, but just got the car cleaned up and about to head for a spin today. So just to give you guys a glimpse of Fresno and where I'm from and what it's all about. I've been here since last night. Came to visit my parents and my younger brother. Still gonna head back over to my younger brother's place in a little bit, but in the meantime I figure I head on out and do a quick drive and make some content in Fresno, since I have yet to do so. This is Clovis Avenue, one of the busiest streets in town that kind of lets you know you're crossing over from Fresno to Clovis. They're neighboring cities. Clovis is kind of like the upscale side of town. And you know, Fresno's got some upscale stuff too, don't get me wrong, but Clovis is considered usually the really nice area of town. It's pretty nice weather right now. It's not too bad. It's 56 degrees. That's relatively cool for Fresno this time of year. So it's nice that they're kind of getting a spring right now. Normally they're already like 80, 90 degrees. They were around 80 or 90 degrees like a week ago. But this weekend they decided to come down from the Santa Cruz Mountains. I ended up getting really nice weather. So yeah, I appreciate it, Fresno, for giving me good weather on my visit. I'll be heading back home sometime later tonight, after, you know, I visit more family and friends and stuff. I texted a couple buddies. We'll see if anybody responds. I know it's still pretty early. It's, you know, it's on a Sunday, 9:30, and people are probably busy doing stuff or just waking up. So yeah, I don't expect any callbacks anytime soon. But hopefully somebody hits me up. Visited my older brother after I went to visit my parents. Let him drive the FL5 for the first time, and he just absolutely loved it. He used to be an S2000 owner and the original AE86 owner. He had a couple of them. He had a coupe and a hatch. The S2000 was his beloved car. It was turbocharged and all that good stuff. He had a lot of fun with it, but now he's really into like rock crawling and off-road capable vehicles. He just bought a 2024 Ford Bronco Sasquatch edition. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's pretty sweet little truck he's got. So I'm happy for him, happy that he's doing well. Him and his wife and his daughter are doing real well, so that's good. Yeah, but here we are, Clovis Avenue. It's a 3-lane road that connects the south end of Fresno all the way to the north end of Fresno. Fresno is exactly on the grid like this, like north, east, south, and west. Right now we are heading north on Clovis. So it's very easy to get around here. You don't really need to take the freeways at all to get around town, especially on a Sunday when there's, you know, not a whole lot going on. It's a very suburby town. I've lived in Fresno since 1988 all the way to last year, right, to 2024. I mean, I moved in and out a couple times. I lived in Sacramento for a little while. I lived in Reedley for a little while. Reedley is a really small town in the South Valley, near like Visalia area, I guess, if you're familiar with the Central Valley at all. Yeah, and then I lived in Clovis, and I lived in Fresno, and of course now you guys know I'm in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Yesterday was really windy. Today is a little bit better, not as windy, so the dust has kind of settled. I went through a touchless car wash, one of my favorite ones at the Valero on Clovis and Shields there. Cleaned her up, took a bunch of pictures in front of city lights. Yes, of course, I've been into city lights before. I had a friend that used to DJ there, and you know, friendly place, of course. You know, obviously the girls are friendly because they want your money. Remember that, guys? Girls at the strip club, they don't really like you, okay? They just want your money. So of course they're gonna be nice to you. You know, they have to be nice. That's their job. But yeah, it's a cool little joint. Not full nude, just topless. So I don't know if you guys know some of the rules here in California, but most of the full nude strip clubs here can't sell alcohol, but topless ones can, because they're not full nude. And Fresno has a couple of strip clubs. They have City Lights right there, and then they have Gold Diggers, which is more the south end of town. But yeah, had a lot of fun going there over the years, celebrating like birthdays, and sometimes they had like porn stars coming out to bring like a bigger crowd and stuff, and that was always fun to go to. And yeah, you see some people dropping some big money out there. Like there was these two old guys. They used to show up every Wednesday at City Lights, and then my buddy was telling me when I went to visit him when he was a DJ there, and I went on a Wednesday one time and I saw these two old guys in there, and he was telling me about them, that those guys come every Wednesday and drop big money on the girls. So, you know, middle of the day type stuff too, not even like at night. I went there to talk to my buddy because his dad was a pharmacist at one of the outpatient clinics. So you know, we were trying to see if I could get a job there at that time, and you know, kind of stopped in and just enjoyed the sights with my buddy while he was DJing. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty fun. Yeah, now we are entering Old Town Clovis. So we have officially crossed into Clovis now. Kind of has an old Western type feel. They have a lot of old car shows here, and they do farmers market and stuff all up in here. So pretty cool. Old Town Clovis is a pretty happening little spot, especially on Fridays and Saturday nights. You know, they have a couple bars here that get really packed. They have a small casino. Yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Pretty cool stuff here. Good old Clovis. I sure do miss it here sometimes. You know, just the ease of the town, getting around and stuff. And you know, it's not a small town anymore. You know, there's like, at least the population sign says, right, like over 800,000 people now. Probably more. It's probably close to 1 million here. You know, yeah, it's not small. It's grown so much since I moved here back in '88. There's way more shopping centers than before. There's more freeways that got built, more hospitals. Yeah, the mall's been redone. you know, a bunch of bigger chain restaurants have moved in, like Chick-fil-A, right, and Ruth Chris, stuff like that. Yeah, it's a nice little town though. I really, really do kind of miss it sometimes. Especially on weekends like this. It's just a breeze to get around town and just kind of mess around, you know. So I'm about to turn right here on Herndon Avenue, another one of the major roads. It's also a big 6-lane road. Fresno's got a couple of those. It's got Clovis Avenue, Blackstone, Herndon, and Shaw, right, that are big 6-lane roads, which is pretty unique. You don't see a lot of towns like that have 6-lane roads that travel all the way across town, like north and south. You know, so I think that's pretty cool, pretty unique thing about Fresno. Gotta cruise by my old workplace called Clovis Community Medical Centers. I worked there since like 2014 or something like that, 2015 until 2023 of December, and then in January of 2024, that's when I moved out to the Bay Area. Moved to Fremont. There's a big old Le Schwab tire here. Yeah, Clovis is nice. I don't know if you guys can get the scale of how nice it is here, but the roads are clean. A lot of nice shopping centers. Ooh, it's ugly right there. What is going on right there? Got some intersection work. Yeah, needs some work. So it looks like this is all repaved. Since the last time I was here. All fresh asphalt. We don't even have the lines painted yet. Yeah, so that's kind of cool to see. I don't really think they needed it. I mean, Herndon was always pretty smooth. But tax dollars at work right here, finally, huh? Doing some stuff. And it always kind of seems like the case. You know, they tend to smooth out a road that didn't really need it. There's way worse roads that they could have been working on, but I get it. This is a very highly traveled road, so you know, to come here and I guess do some preventive maintenance is kind of cool, and to make sure that the road stays up to par for the amount of cars that travel on this road on a daily basis. Yeah, I mean, Herndon can get pretty backed up, but it's never terrible. You know, you can always go at a pretty good pace. And Fresno food, it's got some of the best food here, you guys. Like, if you guys haven't been to Fresno and Clovis, the Mexican and the Southeast Asian vibe here for food is super good. It's some of the best I've ever had. You know, I know people rave about like a lot of the Vietnamese stuff in like the Bay Area, but honestly, I don't think that the Bay Area food can touch the Fresno food. The Fresno food is so robust. You know, it's got a more flavorful palate on it compared to the Bay Area stuff. The Bay Area stuff, I feel, is very simple. The broth is cleaner. You know, it's less dense. But when you come to Fresno pho and you start getting into this pho, it's so thick and rich and, you know, hearty, and I really enjoy that a lot more. You know, it's got some character to it. where most of the Bay Area pho is just kind of cookie cutter. It seems like it's all kind of the same. You know, you come out here and you get a lot of more different flavors depending on, you know, do you want Lao style, do you want Thai style, do you want Vietnamese? I honestly like Lao style pho a little bit better than Vietnamese style. And you know, in the Bay Area I can't find any Lao pho. You know, it's all Vietnamese and Thai boats and stuff, you know. And yeah, so I might have to get a bowl before I leave, before I go home. Stop off at one of my favorite spots and get some pho and get their blended ice Vietnamese coffee. You can't find that everywhere you go either. Blended ice Vietnamese coffee. That's pretty rare. And you know, there's a little place called No Cafe here that serves it up. So here's my old stomping grounds. Here's my old workplace. There's Clovis Community Medical Centers. I'm not gonna drive in or anything, but it's a beautiful campus. It really pushed to shame a lot of campuses everywhere. It's so nice. I miss pulling up into here, driving into the parking lot and parking garage. So easy to find parking. You don't have to pay for parking or nothing. Yeah, good stuff. Let's do a pull here, huh? I'm in comfort. Still pulls pretty good in comfort. Still pulls pretty good in comfort mode. Let's go to individual. Oh, I love that about this car so much. Just swapping back and forth from drive modes. It's a thing of beauty. It's an absolute thing of beauty to be able to do that. This freeway is so tempting. You guys can see how straight and smooth it is. It is so tempting to just hammer it. Sometimes when it's kind of late at night or whatever, and you know, there's nobody around me, like I'll like to do a dig here. Practice dig runs. I used to love doing that here in my old FG2. I'm gonna take the old 168 route. This is Freeway 160 or Highway 168, and it takes you all the way out to Shaver Lake and the Shaver Mountains. It's really beautiful out there. Pretty good windy road to take your motorbike or your, you know, your sports car on, or even just take a family trip, you know, in your SUV or something. It's, you know, it's such a short drive. You guys can already, I don't know if you guys can see the mountains already, but yeah, they're already starting to form here. It only takes like 30 minutes to get out there, maybe not even, right? And yeah, it's a pleasure. It's definitely a pleasure to go out here. It was one of my favorite things about Fresno was having the mountains right here, having the beaches out west. Yosemite is just to the north there. You know, Sequoias to the south, or the Kings Canyon National Forest, I mean. Yeah, and then LA is just 3 hours away. Bay Area is 2.5 from Fresno, so it's a pretty good location to, you know, to be able to still get to some of your favorite spots. You know, and it's not cheap anymore to live here, but it used to be really cheap and affordable. You know, I bought a house here back in like 2008 or 2009 or something, and I bought it for like $138,000, right? And yeah, you can't find that anymore. 3-bed, 2-bath. Yeah, like almost a 10K square foot lot with like a 1,300 foot square home. Yeah, in the Bay Area, that's like $1 million home. You know, in Fresno now it's not so cheap. Like I said, I got it for 138 now. Last time I checked on Zillow, it was like triple. It was like triple the price. So yeah. So now we're in the foothills. The foothills are real nice. A lot of people live out here. It's a pretty big community. You know, high risk of fire out here as well. And there's Cal Fire stations all around here as well. A lot of CHP on this road too. You know, especially on a weekend like this. There's probably going to be a few hanging out. Man, sure do miss these roads. We used to hammer these roads in our motorcycles. I need to ride back down here one day on my KTM. My KTM hasn't seen these roads. My Aprilia saw plenty of these roads, but you know, I don't own the Aprilia anymore. But I like to bring the KTM out here and mess around. That'd be pretty fun. And Fresno's got a lot of like fire roads you can ride as well, and you know, a lot of off-road stuff you can do up here. So that's always really cool. Yeah, it's got a lot to offer. If you like the outdoors, Fresno definitely offers that as well. Once you get on the outskirts of town, it's not like the Bay where it's just, you know, you can get to a hiking trail, you know, within minutes. It's not like that, but it's close enough, you know, to where you don't mind driving out up into the foothills, up into the mountains. Yeah, it's not too bad. I've done plenty of hikes all throughout the Central Valley. It's definitely really nice when you start to get up to Yosemite. Where Yosemite is always beautiful, like all time of the year. You know, it's so busy up there now. We used to be able to just roll into Yosemite whenever we wanted to, but now you need like reservations, and yeah, and you gotta look at the calendar and see what day you can go and see what day is open, because sometimes they have, you know, dates that are, you know, most of their dates are full from the reservations and you can't even go. So that like really sucks, and I don't like that anymore. Yeah, that you can't just go to Yosemite when you want to. I mean, sometimes you can, but most of the time it's reservation required, and that's unfortunate. There's an Academy Road that travels and connects you all the way down to Pine Flat Dam and stuff. Yeah, it goes to the South Valley stuff. Yeah, you can connect all the roads, which is absolutely just great. I've done it on some of my rides and drives where, you know, I start down in like the Visalia area, and I'll connect all the back roads all the way to like the bottom of Yosemite. It's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You can connect it all the way down to like Yosemite, connect it down to like Bass Lake, into like Madera, Oakhurst, Coors Gold. Yeah, there's all these little towns along the way. They're all old little like western towns. That's pretty cool. Oh man, it is gorgeous today. 67 degrees now. It's a little warmer out here than it was in Fresno, actually. That's because there's no shade. The sun's just beating down on everything out here. But once you start climbing up a bit, yeah, it starts to cool off. Yeah, well, I'm gonna shut the video off right here, and I will bring you some more footage when I get to some more of the fun roads and stuff, and talk about, you know, where I am and what road I'm on, and how close I am to stuff. All right, thanks for joining me for this suburban run into the foothills of Central Valley's Fresno and Clovis. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.